Worried about your weight and not living a life. Like, why? Like, F off. I thought I was vile. Why are people like, you know what I mean? Like, get a life. Tracy, she's fat. That's what pisses me off about these idiots. Every single fat person on the internet is coming for me about my weight and what I eat. Like, I'm down in weight. I'm down in inches.
And here we have the rare and almost extinct Foodie Beauty in her natural environment, unaware that her filter has failed, clearly demonstrating that she has indeed not lost any inches whatsoever.
Like, worry about your own life. The level of obsession these people have with me is not sane, okay? Not sane. I'm just telling you. That's it. That's all you gotta know. You need medication. You need help.
I can only speak on behalf of myself when I say that the reason I watch you, Foodie Beauty, has nothing to do with your weight or your size or even your journey towards a better lifestyle per se. The reason I watch people like you is because prior to discovering you on the internet, I legitimately didn't know that people like you existed. I had absolutely no idea. And you're talking to somebody who studied criminal psychology, amongst other, not by itself, as part of, before you come for me. You psychologically are fascinating. The commitment you have to sticking to a lie is incredible. I watch you in part because I want to see how far you will take that lie. Just the same as with Amberlynn Reid. FBI Frank, for example. How far will you go to stick to your story? And your current story is I'm losing weight, I'm getting smaller. Where the filter fail I've just shown from yesterday clearly demonstrates to anyone with eyes and more than 2 brain cells, as you like to say, that you are far from achieving bloody anything. And yet, just a little bit earlier than that filter fail, you upload a video of you heavily filtered. You were stretched by about 32%, according to the calculations I discovered while going through that photograph in Photoshop and making it realistic, removing the filters, which you might claim to be a bit obsessive. And yeah, fair enough. But I'm obsessed because I like finding the lie. It's nothing to do with your weight. I don't care. I literally don't care how much you weigh. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's the lying. It's the lying that bothers me. And catching you out in a lie is, I absolutely admit, something I enjoy. I do. I am guilty AF. I get a real kick out of catching you out in a lie. Like the time I proved that it was literally impossible for you to be legally married. I liked that detective work. I enjoyed it very much. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm obsessive, but You are someone who literally brings me some degree of happiness when I can prove you wrong. Does that make me petty? Does it make me vindictive? I don't know. Probably in your eyes. It makes me somebody who really, 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 really dislikes people who lie, and dislikes people whose entire character is based on deception, and whose care or lack thereof about other people and their feelings and anything actually to do with other people is so blatantly obvious. My child, and I can call you that because technically I could have given birth to you. I was reproductively viable at the age of 12. I mean, it's a horrible thought, but it is possible that I could be your parent in some weird alternative dimension. So, my child, we know you have no shame. We know you probably believe at least 50% of the crap you say. But it's got to the point that no one will believe you ever again. So when you have another health crisis, and this time it's legitimately serious, and you are actually scared and want support, don't be surprised if the majority of the people don't believe you or take you seriously. You have made a rod for your own back. You have cried wolf repetitively, and nobody gives a shit anymore about you and your health and your lifestyle journey and your weight and your attempts to improve yourself, and even your journey with God, because nobody can take you seriously at all. At all. And it will probably be after you have gone, as in really gone, that people might say, oh, she actually was ill this time. And you have no one to blame but yourself. This is editing me. We're all wonky because you sat on my knee. Well, you're going to say, well, why do you watch me then? We watch you in the same way as some people watch Jackass. We just like watching you make an idiot of yourself. We like watching you be a fool. We are doom watching you. We're waiting for the down, 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 down final bit of the roller coaster. We're not watching you because we like you. We're not watching you because we find you interesting as a person. We watch you, as I said, because you're a person making an idiot of yourself. And that's somewhat fascinating. And we're watching you, literally watching you, because your crappy lifestyle, your crappy everything, makes our lives not seem so bad. So that's about as far from jealousy as you can get. We're pity watching you, Chantel. We're pity watching you, Chantel.
Do you know how long it took me to put on this weight?
See, what Foodie's going to say is it took years to put on this weight, when the actual truth of the matter is, as she said very recently, her lightest weight to her recollection as an adult was 295, which means she's currently 46 pounds, according to her, heavier. And at her heaviest, she said she was 420. So the weight that you claim to be now, only a few years, give or take, up and down, up and down. You can't say it was 20 years. You can't say that at all. You've been chronically large your entire adult life. Now you're going to say it will take me years to lose it. No. No. A kilo a week. 2 years. You can lose all the weight you need to in 2 years, which is a tiny percentage of time compared to the amount of time you have been super morbidly obese plus. But you don't need to worry about that, Foodie, because you're going to be dead before you get there. Not that you ever would have gotten there even if you had the time, because you cannot do this. You lack the willpower, you lack the mental fortitude, you lack the inner strength, you lack everything that is needed in order to succeed. You are a child. You like what you like and you want it now. You are so unwilling to make actual, useful, intelligent changes that you could have 1,000 years and you will still be mid 300 pounds. You are not going to do this. You're a failure at fixing your health. You are a failure.
Him calling me a creature? Have you seen him? He looks like literally a zombie, a corpse. He looks like he's buried in the pyramids somewhere and they need to uncover his body with an archaeological dig. It doesn't hurt my feelings, trust me. I cracked out at 4 a.m. every day talking. They're still talking about us.
Right. I was going to add other bits, but I really can't be asked to give Foodie the airtime. But I would say, arguably, that Rev, in terms of appearance and attractiveness and personality and the lack thereof, is at the very least as equally as appealing and attractive as Nada. Now Nada, you couldn't get enough of. So regardless of what you say now, yeah, you can't talk. Which, very cleverly, even if I do say so myself, brings me onto what I actually have been planning to say all along. Well, this morning, since I thought of it. And that is talking about our favourite incredibly skinny guy with the massive significant other. So, let's talk about this couple. She is grossly, grossly obese, and he is a mere stick of a man with probably no body fat whatsoever. They hook up, they do their thing, they get absolutely effing off their gourd on the daily on a plethora of different drugs. He is an extremely dubious character, has committed, allegedly, many a crime, is very fraudulent, very fond of money and extracting money from people, a con man, a grifter, a shark, a charlatan, and she lays herself out for all the world to bear, flaunting her sexuality, her sexual prowess, her body. She has an OnlyFans, she goes on live stoned, she goes online drunk. They both of them beg for money, either directly or indirectly on the internet. They are deplorable lowlifes. That was me describing you, Foodie, 2 and a bit years ago with Nada. And the only difference between you and Shanny and Rev is your story arc ended because Nada rejected you. Had that been different, your life and Shanny's life would have been almost identical. And it's only because Nada rejected you that it changed. And don't go on about, I reinvented my life, I made these changes. You married a man in a foreign country after talking to him for 2 days to get back at Nada. This wasn't some big change. It was you escaping in shame and trying to give the middle finger to somebody who didn't want you, and also conveniently removed you from all the problems you had accumulated. So carry on with your delusion that you are somehow better than those two because your situation's different, because it's only different because the man you wanted more than anything in the whole entire world didn't want you. That's the only reason your life is different now. Anyway, guys, thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching this. Very obviously, I had a few things I needed to get on. Very obviously, I had a few things I needed to get off my chest in order for me to move forward and look after myself, my mental health, my physical health, and those that I love and care for. And now that's done, I feel significantly lighter. So thank you for bearing with me through my little rant.